Tiffany reporting a 75% drop in fourth quarter profits. Now they're citing the plunge in holiday shopping when people really were not spending. Adjusted results, though, still a little bit better than Wall Street was looking for because expectations are just so low these days, and shares of Tiffany are up about 8.25% on the news. Fresh off the conference call with Instant Analysis, Stacey Widlitz, retail analyst with Pally Research. Stacey, pretty incredible when profits fall 75% and they're better than expected. But we know things were horrible at Christmas. How is the company talking about the future?
Sure. Well, we already heard about holiday sales, at the end of December, and they were a mess. They were down 39% in November. The good news is the trajectory got a bit better here. There were a couple bright spots. Silver's performing a little bit better than the company average. Engagement's holding up okay, but you hit it on the head here. Expectations are very low here. So you look at the valuation and say, where do we go from here? This is a stock where the competition is falling by the wayside. So if you're a true investor, this is a company to look at.
Back up just a second. They break things down into silver versus gold, engagement versus other stuff. Did I hear you correctly?
Sure, they do make comments on the call.
I see.
For example, what's underperforming and what's doing a little bit better than the company average. So two of the bright spots, it's all relative, of course, were silver and engagement. The high-end statement pieces above $50,000, they did comment, were the weakest, and that's not really a surprise here.
Yeah, I've cut way back in that department.
Me too, absolutely.
Yeah, the over 50 grand stuff is... did they say anything about geographic? Because, of course, for a long time, Asian buyers were keeping them afloat.
Sure. Well, in the U.S., it was weak across the board. No bright spots geographically. Certainly, Europe is a standout. It actually improved. So the holiday comp was down 3, and now it ended the quarter down flat. So that's a bit of a bright spot there as they continue to gain market share in that very new market.
Stacey, one thing Tiffany has a big business in is that sort of aspirational price point. When you compare them to other jewelers like a Cartier, for example, right? They have a whole lot in that, $1,000 range. Do they talk specifically about whether they're seeing any stabilization in demand there, returning of customers? I mean, how specific do they get?
Well, not too specific. And as you can imagine, with your comps down in the 30 range, there's across the board, they're not really seeing any return from the consumer, the aspirational consumer. But again, they did talk about silver's holding up okay. So, for example, I can still go in and buy a gift for $200, a charm bracelet, which they're being very innovative there. So that's selling a little bit better than the average.
Well, Stacey, thanks so much. And Stacey has a buy rating on Tiffany with a $27 price target.